Greetings. My name is Richard Cordray, and I'm the Chief Operating Officer of Federal Student Aid.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, colleagues. Welcome. Thank you. We were a small group this afternoon, but I do also know that we're being joined by people online. So there are some people who are streaming live on YouTube. And then, of course, you are welcome to refer to this session later on, if you wish, on the recording. So thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. And hopefully you're in the right session. This is session 2B. And hopefully our speakers are in the right session too, and I think we are. So this is the session on career and experiential learning. My name's Andrea Strachan, and I currently work for the University of Queensland in Brisbane, and I'm making the transition to the University of Glasgow in Scotland. And I'm also on the Iasas board. It's always helpful to remind us where we are. Colleague is in the wrong session, so it's good. Excellent. I'm very pleased to be here this afternoon, and we do have a number of speakers. Unfortunately, one of our speakers can't be with us today, and their visa didn't come through in time, so they are on the programme, but they're not going to be joining us, and that's our colleague from Qatar. And we're also, I think we're missing our colleague from South Africa, Mochake, from here. No, anyone? No? Okay. He may still come, but at this point in time, then we'll press on, I think, because we do have two of our other speakers here in person, and we have one of our last speaker who's going to join us virtually via a video. Okay, so let's press on. It does mean that we will have a little bit more time for discussion and debate. So, without further ado, we're going to turn to matchmaking. So, Dominic, would you like to come up and
just expectation management, you'll see a lot of graphs and numbers. But the quality behind, we're really talking about students, how we are preparing them in their career. Now, the slides, it's a study called matchmaking. I think the tech team, it's handling that. But, well, you know what matchmaking is, right? Have you guys seen like blind dates, you know, those kind of show, you matchmake, right? Sometimes I do think about career services really is like matchmaking. You know, we prepare students, their attributes, and we match them with their loved ones, i.e. the employers, right? And so in 2022, I've done this study called matchmaking, and what really we were doing was comparing how career services in universities and institutes in Hong Kong are preparing students for employment. Okay? Now, just a little bit, just in case I overrun, but seems like I cannot overrun today because the two speakers kind of gave way, so I can talk a lot about myself. Now, not showing off or anything. I have to give you a little background of why I've done this study. I am now the Deputy Registrar of Chung Wah College. We are a private college in Hong Kong, awarding undergraduate, so bachelor's degree. We focus a lot on healthcare. I'm going to go to that in a bit. Just a couple months ago, I was still the Associate Director in Admission, Careers and Public Affairs in St. Francis University in Hong Kong, another private university. So yes, I get paid once, but I do 3 times the work, okay? So that you can kind of get why I did a study in career services. I'm a Doctor of Education candidate, but I also have an MBA. So I'm kind of this strange, you know, hybrid. You know, when you buy a Hyundai, you get a hybrid car, right? You get a hybrid between business and education. Now, I do have some career certifications. I do also have some higher education, administrative qualifications. So this is why I have this strange idea in bringing business to education and vice versa. And so my study, it's in between, these two fields. Now, just in case I overrun, now I have to, okay, can we take a picture so I can send it to my boss? Thanks. Okay, well, they pay for my trip here, so I have to, acknowledge them. We are a private college. We award undergraduate degrees. We focus on allied health. So we are the biggest nursing school in Hong Kong. We also cover physiotherapy, radiotherapy, occupational therapy, a lot of health-related disciplines. So at this college, we kind of do not have a huge problem with employability. I mean, it's all licensed, specialized program, so it's fine. But thanks to the college for sending me here and for the opportunity. My bosses, of course, Professor Sally Chan, who is a registered nurse, double trained in psychiatric nursing as well as general nursing. Top 2% scientist, as well our Vice President Academic Professor David Mann. So they have been very supportive for me being on this trip. So picture done, right? Thank you. Now, as I said, I've done this study while I was in St. Francis University. So my direct supervisor, Vice President Administration, Dr. Kat Leung, just to make her happy. Yeah, her favorite picture. Okay. Now, what's one more acknowledgement? My partner is here today. She's not exactly in education. She's a medical doctor by profession. Just here to watch me speak, as if I don't talk enough at home. But Dr. W.W. Liu. So she's taking pictures so I can send it to my bosses. Now enough about acknowledgements. When I started working in Korea, I started asking myself, what is the purpose of career services? In fact, what is the purpose of higher education? Do we get a degree? And so what after getting the degree? And so some scholars with huge wisdom pinpoints this thing, which I remind myself all the time. Now, he says the purpose of obtaining university education is to secure a desirable employment. Now, what can be more is a career with promising prospects. Now, I'm not sure about other cultures. In Hong Kong, getting university education, or in a Chinese culture, or even a Asian culture, getting university education is almost always about getting a good job, right? Your parents tell you should study medicine so you become a doctor and get well paid. You should study law and become a lawyer and get well paid. You should not study to be a teacher and go into university because you do not get well paid, and you do 3 jobs, right? So in Asia, we have this culture. If we have that in mind, then career services should be one of the most important services in a university. Supplementing all the academic training and all the extracurricular activities that we train students in. Now, to inspire the study that I have done, this is one of the major heavily relied on reports that I've done in my literature review. It's called the Future Fit. Now, if you now go onto Google and search Future Fit, you get a lot of different things. Fitness centers, career, experts, headhunting companies. But back in 2009, this word was invented by the UK, and they've done this report. They've asked universities, what are they focusing on in terms of employability skills? At the same time, they ask employers what they expect to have been developed in university for students, for graduates, in the context of employment. They've also asked students, what do they expect to learn in university in terms of employability skills? And they matched them together, and it was a very interesting result. I'm not going to give that away. So you could go and search. There are free downloads of these reports. But It's very interesting that you do a evidence-based study to things that we usually do every day. I mean, career services have been there since what, 1800s, 1700s? And have we actually studied, are we doing it right? Are we preparing students what their employers are expecting? Now, upon more literature review, there was no study done in Hong Kong. And we cannot directly adopt the UK study because of the social cultural difference. I'm not sure if UK parents tell their kids they should become doctors and lawyers and get paid well, right? Because the cultural difference to career and to university education is very different. Now, and so I decided to do this study in Hong Kong, extremely small scale, because no one's paying me to do this study. So I have kind of scaled down a little bit. What I have done is I surveyed higher education institutions in Hong Kong on the training objectives in terms of employability. And I've also surveyed international businesses in Hong Kong. They could be headquarters, they could be their expat offices. What are their hiring expectations? And I kind of matched them. Just like, the name of the study is called matchmaking, right? The gentlemen list down their attributes and then the ladies list down their expectations and you see if they match, right? And that's the background of the study. Now, I'm pretty sure you do not want to go into the details here. Just to show you the diversity of the different industries. So on your right there, of the different industries that were surveyed, the sizes of the businesses surveyed ranging from what we call small and medium enterprises, so 1 to 100 employees, all the way to corporates with more than 5,000 employees. So it's a wide range of businesses that have responded. 1/3 were local businesses. Many of them were businesses affiliated with overseas. Now, these are the businesses that responded. These are the institutes that responded. Now, you can see this perfect pizza, right? More perfect than the normal perfect pizza. There aren't that many institutes in Hong Kong, and 8 of them responded. So you kind of see ranging from large public universities with 30,000 students size, all the way to smaller institutes or colleges. The good news is, on your right, that uneven pie chart, almost all of the students were employed, right? So are we having a really huge problem with employability? No, as in they get hired. But do they meet the expectation of their employers? And so here's the study. Now, a reality check that has not been done, at least in my literature review, that has not been done in Hong Kong. What were employers expecting, and what are institutes doing, in terms of career services? Okay. Now, on your left is what employers responded. On your right is what institutes responded. And now this question there were a number of factors that we consider in recruitment. They were asked to list the importance of each factor. So there were these. The university attended, i.e. the brand. If you go to a more well-known university, higher ranked university, the program attended, the grade, program results, relevant work experience, English capability, foreign language capability, positive attitude, employability skills. Now, these factors were listed in the UK Future Fit report. So for convenience, I've brought some of them, adjusted some of them to the social culture environments in Hong Kong. The highlighted items, I do want to draw your attention. Universities or institutes think that the most important factors are the program the students attended. This is very intuitive in Hong Kong. I mean, if you study medicine, you become a doctor. That's very intuitive. So it's extremely important. Employers do not think so. Nowadays, we always talk about, we were just chatting with my fellow Hong Kong friends there, we always talk about transferable skills, right? So employers' responses come back and say, hey, we do not always look exactly at the program attended, especially if they are more general programs. I did not study education in my undergraduate. I did chemistry. The only chemical thing I did was during COVID, I cleaned up my house, with bleach and stuff, It's nothing I actually do at work, right? So there is this mismatch there. Now, the second thing, which, keep that in mind, that is going to come back and haunt us many times. Universities do not rate positive attitude as very important. It is quite important. It's not the top, though. Okay, you might argue it's the third or the fourth positive attitude. Businesses, employers, think it is the most. Together with employability skills. Now, I'll go to employability skills. And positive attitude is going to come up back into employability skills as well. Now, so there is this mismatch. Now, let's keep that in mind. Now, number two, very similar graph. On the left, okay, employability skills ranked. They are self-management, okay, team working, business and customer awareness, problem-solving skills. Now that's important. Communication and literacy. Okay, something that seems very, natural, or something that seems, very fundamental, but that is going to come up a lot. Application of numeracy. Okay, application of technology. Positive attitude is going to come back again. Entrepreneurship. In Hong Kong, and I think a lot happens in Asian countries, and entrepreneurship comes up. Okay, we always talk about startup, coming up with new ideas and stuff. Employers turn out, well, of course they're employers, right? They're not, angel funds, so they rank it the least. Okay, but I do want to draw your attention. Oh, sorry, I did not tell you what's on the right. On the right is how universities and institutes think they cover these skills, the extensiveness of their coverage. Okay, so they think they do a lot of coverage in communication and literacy. Okay, they think they do a lot of coverage in positive attitude, which employers think it is important. But we're going to come back and do a reality check in a bit. Now, on the left is also coverage. On the right is also coverage. On your left, now this time is not the level of importance. This time is the level of satisfaction. Okay, so employers are asked, how happy are you with these skills, or with the graduates in terms of these skills? Remember our old friend, positive attitude? You want to go back to the previous slide? Whoops, sorry, this keeps going going forward. Can I, is it here? Sorry, can we go back one slide? Back one more. Thank you. Now, positive attitude, very important, right? Extremely important. Okay? Now, I'm not going to go back. I don't want to keep asking. Okay? Now, keep an eye on the positive attitude bar. Satisfaction. Look at satisfaction. One of the lowest. Now, what happens with graduates' positive attitude in terms of their work, in a working environment? Now, this is a clear alarm that we think we cover a lot. Institutes cover positive attitude. We talk about holistic education, we talk about life education, value education, spiritual education, all these different focus groups. But look at how it appears, in terms of employers, their satisfaction. Now, this is important. We cover a lot of communication and literacy, but employers seem indifferent. The gray part is, yeah, okay, somewhat satisfied, right? And so there is another mismatch here. And honestly, this is not what I was expecting, to start with. I think Hong Kong, institutes prepare students quite well for employment. Now, this is very different. This on your left-hand side is also satisfaction, okay? But on your right is how confident institutes think they teach their students, right? They think that it's very likely that students pick up positive attitude during college education. So we don't know about secondary schools or high school. In this university, you learn about positive attitude. This is what universities think. but employers are not satisfied. Same thing with, communication and literacy. There is this gap here. So are we missing something? Now, a little bit away from, all the employability skills. I'm pretty sure you're quite tired of those charts, right? Some other charts now. When asked who is responsible for helping students acquire employability skills, now institutes say, students. Okay, who's the most responsible? Okay, almost all of them say students, which to a certain extent is quite true. I mean, you have to do some proactive learning. One thing, okay, we are, as higher education practitioners. Employers, okay, do think students are responsible. They also think universities are responsible. One good news is they do think themselves are responsible. So I'm guessing this is about, on-the-job training, field experience and stuff. And also, one other question is we ask each group, we ask employers, what should universities do? What should we do to enhance employability of our graduates? Okay, now, if you can, you can probably read from there, right? Increase number of graduates, number of students, quality of teaching, quality of graduates, just the normal things, right? Improve the employability skills. The importance or the key here is not which skill is the highest. The key here is the difference in perspective. Institutes think it is important to increase subjects related to licensed disciplines. So let's do more nursing programs, like us. Let's do more accountant programs. Okay, this will have them hired, immediately. But that's not what employers are thinking. Employers actually want higher quality graduates instead of a license. That license may or may not actually mean that they're of high quality. This is at least the result of this study, right? So there is this big gap here on what we should prioritize. Now, I've also went beyond and asked some other questions. 81% of the business surveyed, they have links with universities and institutes. 92.9% actually want more, so they're out there, right? All of the institutes have links, but all of them want more. Now, this is not the biggest point. The biggest point is this: 82.6% of businesses have encountered difficulty. So what's happening? They cannot reach out to universities, but they do actually want to do it. On the other hand, universities also have encountered difficulties. Now, so my experience sharing from what I've done during career services, a lot of collaborations between institutes, universities, and businesses are not always just about employment, which could actually be quite boring. Hey, what vacancies do you have? Oh, we have these graduates. Okay, let's match them, right? It could go way beyond. It could be research collaborations. It could be donations, sponsorships, and many other types of collaborations. Now, the thing is, have we reached out, as university professionals? Now, a lot of data, right? So just a little check on what conclusion we can reach and what recommendations we can have. Is there a blind spot? Have we blinded ourselves thinking that we provide quality education, quality graduates? Have we checked with the user, which is the employer? Now, in one of the questions I've asked this, I'm not sure if you could read all the fine prints there. Universities and higher education institutes are very confident in the provision of career services in terms of enhancing employability. All of them strongly agree that we have a clear idea of what we're doing. So we know what we're doing. Yeah, we're good. We're the professionals, right? We have programs, extracurricular or curricular, to train these employabilities. We are so confident. Now, is that has that become our blind spots? Reality check. What I would recommend is we do want to realign, what is important in factors and are considered in employment. Employers say positive attitude. Institutes think our program design is the most important. Have we missed something? Right? How can we put positive attitude back into our university training for our students instead of focusing just all on the know-how? Reality check number 2, communication and literacy skills. Employers are very unsatisfied. However, institutes in Hong Kong think they are the most extensively trained area, skill. I think we've missed something, right? Reality check number 2. Back to our old friend. This came up all the time. Positive attitude. I don't know what employers are seeing, when they hire our graduates at their workplace in their offices. What attitudes are like, but, they are so unsatisfied. But universities are very confident that we taught them these. Have we really taught them that positive attitude? Okay, we are so confident that it's most likely to be acquired during higher education and not in your family and not in your church community, not with your peer. But hey, here we're doing our job really well, but they're not satisfying the employers. Now, the mismatch in priority, right? Employers want us to raise our quality. Universities think we should, do our subject design, our program design better. Okay, that's something to look at. I think one recommendation is to be proactive and communicate. I mean, employers are the users. My experience dealing with a lot of local businesses or international businesses in Hong Kong, they're always willing to talk and give feedback. Okay, we just have to reach out more. A lot of times we send out survey, they do not come back well. Employer surveys, right? But it's really about how we reach to them, how we actually build a network that we get that correct, accurate and genuine feedback about our graduates. Now, one final word. See that puzzle linking, the two islands, right? I think a lot of time, at least in my experience in the local institutes, we focus so much in doing our own stuff, in doing our own work, and we think we're doing it so well that we miss the reality. And just a little piece of experience is if we do some studies, evidence-based study, we can probably plan our strategy much better. And it's important we do look at statistics and we do look at, feedback from, the users or the different stakeholders. And being evidence-based is so important in other aspects of universities. We do a lot of research. We do a lot of pre-program design research, market research, stakeholder research, to come up with a new program, to come up with a new, research topic. Why do we not do it, in career services? Now, just a little sharing. I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry about all the different, charts and tables. If you do want to stay connected, this is my LinkedIn. Now I have moved a little away from, career services. I do a lot of in admission, but I'm always happy, to share and, learn from each other. And thank you for the opportunity for my Iasas for me to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dominic. Wonderful, lovely and engaging session. Look, don't move away just yet because I'm sure there are probably some questions, but I might just ask one myself. Sorry, forgive me, just because I have the microphone. I'm interested in this positive attitude piece, and I'm wondering to what extent, because I'm not quite sure when your timing was, but to what extent do you think the the environmental and the global situation is playing into that positive attitude by way of mental health? There'll be other sessions concurrently running they're talking about almost like a hopelessness for the future. And do you think that's also playing into what you've seen in your research?
Yes, I think absolutely. now that we're in South Korea, I can probably answer this. Back in Hong Kong, it's a little, I should avoid answering these questions. But no, just kidding. I think in Hong Kong, I mean, the whole world, we've gone through COVID. It does have a strong effects on having students rethink about life. We do a lot, in universities, get our degrees, get our licenses, but hey, I mean, I could die from COVID. And it's not entirely, controllable, at least back then. In Hong Kong, we have also gone through a very, turbulent period in terms of, our politics and our social environments. We are, in fact, still going through a not so positive economic environment. So all of these things add to students or young adults, especially young workers, think, what does career mean to us? And I think that really affects their attitude at work. We do have this slang called a lie down attitude, right? 躺平, right? So we just go to work and then we kind of do whatever according to what we require to, and then we get off work. Okay, so much less about passion, much less about personal development, a lot more about job satisfaction, a lot more about what that work really means in my life. Does it pay my bills, or does it pay my trip? So work has become a less important aspects in life in the recent generation, and so that is obviously going to affect attitude. And by positive attitude at the workplace, we do mean how proactive students are, or graduates or workers are, how resilient they are, and I mean, it's only intuitive, when your environment is not all positive, that you are much less resilient and you're much less proactive. Yeah, and we do see a lot of issues in mental health. But there are sessions on mental health on students as well, so I'm pretty sure those will add on to it.
That's great. Thank you very much. Look, I think it's incredibly interesting, because that's where the overlap is really, and you can't help but wonder whether or not our students really now are much more wise than perhaps we were, and they're making these choices and they have perspective in their life. But on the flip side, of course, then we see that there are still employment shortages. We were talking in our last session here in Korea and other countries that are experiencing the same. Absolutely, yeah. Colleagues, any questions for Dominic? Yes. Oh, yes,
Hi, C.
Hi, yes, a very fantastic research and inspirational, I think, especially also from Hong Kong. And I have two questions. The first one is about who are the representative of the institution, because one of the major findings is you find mismatching between the employer and the institution. But it's very important who completes the survey, whether they are the director of program or president, wherever. So first of all, it's about who were the respondents, and this is the number one, the first question. The second question is about positive attitude, because it seems that it comes up again and again. Positive attitude is very important, but because it's a quantitative research, I don't know whether you have any follow-up questions which we can understand what positive attitude is about. Whether it's something like the can-do attitude, that is the employer expect the employee to go on, not to give up, or whatever. So if you didn't ask, no follow-up question, what do you think about this positive attitude? What is this about? Yeah,
okay, I'm going to answer the first question first. Now, the survey, the questionnaire was sent to student affairs services officers and career officers in different universities, and we did ask them, who are you? The person who is responding. More often, they would be the head of career services or managers of career services in student affairs. And I'm not sure about your university, I mean, we all know who was the head back then. It could be him or it could not be him. So that's that. Now, an extension to that question for employers. Okay, I did ask similarly, the demographic of the respondents. For many smaller businesses, they were the business owners. So possible that they could have a different perspective, on attitude, versus what an HR manager, who are amongst the most populous respondent as well, on positive attitude. Expectation is different, experience is different, the scope of work is different. So similarly, businesses and institutes. Now, the second question, positive attitude was a keyword put to the respondents. Now, deliberately, I did not well define exactly what those are. I'm pretty sure, though, given the life experiences and given the experience in their respective field, respondents have a certain interpretation on what positive attitudes are. I did, however, show them an annexure to the Future Fit report, which did define positive attitude. And some of the things were mentioned by UC, persistence, endurance, we were talking about resilience. These are, in general, amongst the positive attitudes that we believe, employers and universities had in mind when they responded to that question. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Hope that answered your question. Thanks.
Yeah, so there's a mismatching between the career office services offered by the career services and the employees. Because from my point of view, sometimes when we're talking about institution, it could be about how the program design their program. So actually, it's more about career office, how they can adjust the services to cater the needs of. Thank you. To cater the needs of the employers. Thank you.
Correct. And as the major contact point with employers, I do believe career services can play a much stronger role in bringing that information back to career services, as well as to program, or even to other aspects in a university. Yeah, thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Dominic.
Thank you, Andrea.
Thank you indeed. Okay, and with that, actually, thank you very much. A round of applause again for Dominic. Thank you. And with that, then we'll move on to hear from Tony. Now, Tony's going to, and probably this follows really nicely, Tony, actually. So it's not unhelpful that we're missing two speakers today. So I think this will flow nicely. So you're going to talk to us about social innovation and experiential learning at your college. Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, and I'm Tony Chen from the Chinese University of Hong Kong. As Dominic used some time to sell his college, I would like also spend some time there, because CUHK has a very unique college system in Hong Kong. So that's why you will see that I'm representing the United College, which is also one of the founding colleges in CUHK. So I'm the college secretary of the United College. So I always tell a joke that to the visitors, I'm the college secretary, and also I'm the director of student affairs. I'm director of funding and admission, everything. Yeah, because we need to take care of all of the pastoral care and also facilities in the college. So that's why. But today I would like to focus on what we are providing to our students, that we have organized a social innovation and experiential learning project at our college. So our college has around 3,500 students, and also the students are coming from different professions, so that would be a very good platform for all of them to experience some of the social innovation projects. So if you want to connect me, this is my email address. So I would like to let you know more about the background of our project. So our project, this is initiated in 2019 So I need to use this one, right? So our project was initiated in 2019. Cannot use. Okay. Go back. Need to ask, right? Okay. So our project is a new initiative developed in 2019. Indeed, it is a COVID. When we have this idea, it is before the COVID, but after the COVID, we still want to make it real that we would like to do that. So we try very hard effort to make it during the COVID times. So we have some three categories of activities. The first one is experiential learning activities. The second one is internship opportunities and professional training. And the third one is a social innovation competition. You will find that these three categories, there's a rationale behind. The first one is a level 1, you can say that. So it is just a one-off activities that the students can join because they would like to taste a little bit about what social innovation was, and would like and also want to know more what the social enterprise is doing. So we offer some of these activities for our students to join, which is only one-off activities. The second one is more or less a credit-bearing courses. We would like those students who would like to want to more committed in this area, or some students that they have no idea about what is social enterprise, what is social innovation, but they need to fulfill the credit-bearing course. So because our college offers 6 credit general education courses, the students could be able to select what they want to choose to take. But one of the courses is related to social innovation. 2 courses are related to social innovation. And the third one, which is a competition, that the students need to form a team, so that they need to think about a project that they would like to carry out. So this is, maybe you can say that the level 3 is the most time consuming, and also for those students which they really want to engage in this area. So I would like to try to share with you that. So this project is a more practical one. It's not very research based. So I hope that you can know more what we are doing in our college. So the first one is the experiential learning activities. So we work with different NGOs and social enterprises in Hong Kong. So because we don't have such kind of expertise, but these NGOs and social enterprises, they do a lot of these kinds of experiential learning activities. This is the one that we jointly organized with a called SLCO Community Resources. They try to help our students to learn more about the sign languages of deaf people. And also the deaf youth tutors guide our students to think about what difficulties the deaf are encountering every day, and also and any feasible solutions that our students can think about. How to help to help the deaf people to have a better life. So our students would be able to learn more about this and think about what they can do in different kinds of projects, or even in their career after their graduation. So another 2 workshops that we are trying to help. These 2 workshops we are organizing during the COVID time, so which is very, very difficult, but we still want to engage our young people, our students, to know more. So the aging stimulation workshop, which is we work with a social enterprise called Elderfy. So they have very special equipment that they can help our students to simulate and old people how they walk and how they have in the daily the difficulties that they encounter in daily life. So, and also to experience the physical conditions of the elderly. So you will see that the students having these kinds of special equipment so that they can simulate that they are an old people. And also the social enterprise is also sharing what the elderly that they are facing, what problems, what difficulties that they are facing every day. And other is more community-based basis. It's called a local guided tour provided by a social enterprise. We call it Gai Fong tour. Gai Fong in Cantonese is some kind of nearly to neighborhood. So we hope that the students would know more about their neighborhood and also the history, the culture of the community, so that they can try to go. We just go to a district called Guntong, which is you can say that this is a community which is evolving right now, so that they can know more about their past, present, and future. And indeed, we also organize another one in another community in North Point, another district in Hong Kong, so that they can know more through this guided tour. So they normally engage those neighborhood in that area, like, for example, I remember this guide who sharing the newspaper clippings that he lived in this area, in this community for maybe 50 years, so that he knows about how the community evolved, what changes in this community, so that they can share with those students with no knowledge. So that this is also another activities that we want to let our students to experience. So this is level 1, and then we try to go to level 2, which we offer some opportunities and trainings for our students. As I mentioned, most of them are general credit-bearing general education courses because we have got 6 credits offered by our college, so that students can choose these courses as the elective of our general education courses. We are now providing one internship program, so that the students can do the internship at some local social enterprises. Also, we provide professional training provided for those social innovation award that I mentioned is level 3. So this is also the training and also the courses that we provided. We are so grateful that we have a very good partner in Hong Kong that help us to provide this kind of training, because you know that our professors in the college or in the business school, they may be they are very good in their academic knowledge, but not have a very close connection with those social enterprises, and also how to know that the actual operation of these social enterprises. So we have a partnership with an organization, with an NGO in Hong Kong. We call it the name is Fullest Social Enterprises Society. They help us to serve as the trainer, and also to provide the internship opportunities, and also connect with our students with the social enterprises, and also to arrange the internship. So this is the first course. We have 2 courses. The first course, we call it Social Innovation, Social Enterprises and Demand, which is an introductory course. It's just 1 unit. That means 1 credit. This is a very introductory course that we hope that the student can have a basic understanding what is social enterprises, what are they doing, and also a lot of basic concept about the social enterprises, like the social cost, for example, like how to calculate the social cost, for example. So you see that we also arrange experiential learning on the lesson. We do not do a lot of academic talk. So we maybe invite the owner or the founder of the social enterprise to share with our students, and also, for example, this you see that some card games, because we are working with a social enterprises which they have the aim at using card games to do some training and education. So this is a course we want the students to have a very general idea and also general knowledge on social innovation and social enterprises. So the last one, we admitted around 100 students in this academic year. And then this is another, which is called Social Enterprise and Innovation Internship. This is a 3-unit, 3 credits course. So this course, we try to immerse the students into the real world of social enterprises. So indeed, this course, there's a prerequisite. The one credit course, they need to take that one credit course first, and then they can take this free credit course, free unit course, so that they can. We try to enable them to into a social enterprise to do a internship not less than 80 hours in a semester, so that they need to do some not just very simple works. We ask them to do some proposals for the social enterprises. You see that we encourage them to provide ideas to promote the enterprises among the youth community. For example, we hope that we ask them to do like a marketing plan for that social enterprises, which aim at the youth as the customers, or do some social media plan for that social enterprises, because you know that some social enterprises they don't have any social media platforms, or they are not managed very well, so that our students can give them some proposals and ideas how to strengthen their operation. And for example, they would also do some practical work. For example, they help them to pack the stuff, the products, and also maybe to go to the shop to serve as one day shop assistants. These kinds of internship they are doing. So you will see that these are only some of the social enterprises that we are now working with. Last year and this academic year, we have 75 students to be the interns in around 30 social enterprises in Hong Kong. So these are all our partners, and our students are very interested, and also they are very engaging in these social enterprises during the internship courses. So we also provide professional training for the award, because this is for the level 3 activities. So also the Fullest Social Enterprises Society, they offer some kinds of very in-depth training for those participants of the Social Innovation Awards. So they would the training content, you see there's some design thinking, how to calculate the social impact, and how to pitch their proposal, and also they provide some individual coaching for our students so that they can formulate a more strong proposals in the award competition. So that you can say that these kinds of training is to prepare them to contest in the award competition. So this is the professional training that we are also given for those students who are very eager to do something on and or off campus. And I could tell you that some of the participants are the students who finish that credit-bearing courses. So that's why I would say that this is level 1, level 2, and level 3. So and the third one, the level 3, is the social innovation competition. We are so honored to have a Hong Kong company called Group Sense, who is the sponsor of our competition. This is an IT company in Hong Kong, but that they are really engaging in social innovation. So that's why they are they are the sole sponsor of this program. So the background is that we would like to use a competition to encourage our students to think more, and also to do something on or off campus, and to solve some social problems. And these projects, we ask them to respond to at least one of the 17 SDGs, and so that they can promote sustainable development in Hong Kong. So yeah, we just it's very straightforward that the competition, which really hope the students can not only just write a proposal, but they can test their ideas whether it is feasible to at least to work on campus. Or we also encourage them, maybe after their graduation, they can make it as a social business. So this is what our college would like to use the campus environment to provide a platform for them to test their ideas, and also that is also want to support CUHK, because CUHK also has a mission to promote SDG. So this is a try to make our campus a very inclusive and also sustainable campus. So we have a champion with a cash prize. It's not very much, $10,000, and also we will give them a seed fund, 20,000 Hong Kong dollars to carry out their project. The project period would be 2 to 6 months, depends on the length of their projects. So, and we also have some outstanding project award with some seed fund, a little bit less, $10,000. But I think it's already very good enough for them to exercise their project on campus or off campus, because some projects they would like to do some projects off campus. It is okay for them to do that. So I would like to introduce that this is the projects in last year, 2023. This is the champion. We call it Cheer Cup. They are a project that try to promote the reusable cup, borrow, and return network on campus, because they work with different canteens on campus to try to borrow they call it Cheer Cup, borrow the Cheer Cup and then return after the takeaway. So that and also they would give a $2 coupon for them to if the students chose to use the Cheer Cup. So they also try to engage because we have a lot of this kind of fun fairs on campus. They will also use this Cheer Cup and to attract the students, try to be more environmentally friendly. Yeah, because in these kinds of fun fair, they always use paper cup, which is not very environmentally friendly. So because they are really very committed. Because I know that they wash the cups by themselves. Yeah, because our college borrow a kitchen for them, because our college has their own kitchen, so that we borrow our kitchen for them, and they are very engaged in this project. They will when they return the students return the cup for them, then they will wash by themselves. So this is the project of the champion project. So maybe you thought that this is a very small project, but we hope that this is a start for the students to do something good to the society. The second, you can say that this is the first runner-up that we call this outstanding project. So this is called Eco Seed. This is a reuse and recycling campaign. Yeah, because during the check-out of our student hostels, we find that indeed they find that a lot of food, soy sauce, flour, a lot of different food, unconsumed food in the hostels, which is very, very. You can say that this is you can say that this is a not very desired conditions, that we find that a lot of unconsumed food, so that they will collect these unconsumed food left in the hostels and redistribute to those in need. For example, those poor families and in the poor communities. And another very innovative idea is that they turn this food into soup. So not every food can do that. They learn some formula that they can use some collective food, and then they try to engage the students and alumni, our college alumni, to do some workshop, and then they work together to do the soup, to make the soup, and then the soup can be sold in the fun fair again to raise fund for their project, so that they can run the project again and again. So this is the outstanding project award. So this is the project in 2023. So it so happens it's also very related to environmentally friendly, but not necessary, because this year, 2024, we just finished our competition, and the champion is a group of medical and pharmacy students. They have an idea to make a website for those minor ethnic minorities. Yeah, because they find that the ethnic minorities living in Hong Kong, they don't know a lot about the medical knowledge. Because all the medical knowledge in Hong Kong, they are only written in Chinese and English. So that the ethnic minorities, maybe the Thai, maybe coming from Pakistan, Indian, they don't know the very detailed, the drug, maybe the details about the drugs, about the medical knowledge. So that these students would like to make a website to help them. So this is the champion of 2024. In this summer, they will engage more students to make the website to be published for those ethnic minorities, and the college fully support them. So and also we will engage them to share in our college assembly, yeah, because we do have college assembly for our students, so that we don't just ask them to do that by their own, but they can share their mission, their projects details, and also anything that can arouse the interest of the students at the college assembly, so that they can share to more and to among the schoolmates in the college. So in conclusion, we find that there's a lot of benefits in this program. So students able to diffuse their concept and skills into their daily lives and even career, and we fully engage, we very encourage them that whether they can make it as a social business after their graduation. So also they can learn more about the operation of the social enterprises. We know some of them even join those social enterprises after the graduation. So this is also very engaging. This is a way to engage them into this community. So and also they can be inspired to explore more innovative business and promotional ideas, and also they can become the innovators to respond to the public needs and resolve social problems creatively and effectively. But we also can see some challenges. Yeah, the number of participants was relatively small among the whole college, because we have 3,500 students. But maybe every year we can we just can engage maybe 200 students in every year. But we try our every effort to engage more students to join the credit-bearing course, and also those experiential learning activities, as well as those the competition award. And we find that they are become more and more diverse. So these kinds of experiential activities may be not attractive enough. So every time we still need to put a lot of effort in the promotion, so that they will try to taste the activities, yeah, because they are very busy, the students, but we still want them to try to taste, because before they join the activities, they know nothing about that. So but after the tasting, so they are very eager to learn more. So, and also the credit bearings and social enterprise internship can attract students participation, but at the same time, because this is credit bearing, also they put a lot of pressure to their studies, because we also need them to fulfill a lot of academic achievements. They need to do some projects, they also need to, but not only enjoy the way that they do the internship, or they know the social enterprises. Because this is a credit-bearing courses, the university, the registry still needs to have some guidelines, and also some a lot of doings. They do need to do a lot of assessment on these credit-bearing courses, and also internship arrangement is really need a lot of manpower to try to match them. So this is also very difficult for us to manage this internship program. So this is the end of my presentation. I hope that you will enjoy and also to learn more. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you. That's wonderful. I can't help but think we started off today with the keynote speaker who made mention of that by 2030, the 85% of the jobs are not yet made. And then you talked, Dominic, about the fact that actually the research shows that our students want to run their own businesses and they want to do these things, and we know that they're socially conscious, we know that they're motivated by doing things that interest them. So there's a match here, but we've just not pinpointed it enough to make it scalable as well, which is really what you were saying the challenges were. Really interesting, but it's there. We've got the answers. We just need to make it work at scale, I guess. And are you working on the scalability of some of those initiatives now? You are? Are you working on the scalability?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, really interesting. Does anyone have any questions for Tony? No, you do. Yes.
No problem. I hope that I make myself clear.
No. I'm just wondering because Dominic mentioned that a positive attitude is very important, and I'm just wondering whether this experiential learning program or internship program or social entrepreneurship, what do you think would they help enhance a student's attitude, being more positive? Yeah, just wondering, what do you think about that?
I think so. Yeah, this also enhance the positive attitudes. Yeah, because during because you will see that because this is a process to solve some social problems. So after the journey, they thought that they really can do some help to those vulnerable people, and also to help, though in a very small scale, but they can really thought about that. They do something they do good for those vulnerable groups. For example, I remember a intern, my student, who did the intern at a organization which is helping the ethnic minorities, because this is minorities in Hong Kong. You can say that they are vulnerable groups in Hong Kong, which our student can do something for them. They try to go to their community to talk to them, and also do some exercise, do some tutorial sections for them, and also they try to organize some trips to let more local people to know more about their lives. So that I think that these kinds of journeys would help them to make themselves more positive. I think this is also very important.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We've got one other question here, just down here. Hold on.
Hello. You raised one point there regarding the challenges. You said that there's a challenge with matching interns to their internship sites, right? I wonder if you have learned some lessons along the way of doing this, or maybe some best practices in matching students with their internship sites. Could you share some of those lessons or best practices with us?
Thank you. Because the time is running out, so I don't be able to share more. Yeah, after some years of practices, we know that the expectations of both the students and both the organization is also very important. Somehow in the beginning, we just try to focus on the expectation of students. But we find that the social enterprise also have some expectation. They would also like to engage some kind of students to help them. So before the matching, we will try to solicit all their expectations first and try to see whether it is being able to match. But it is not very desirable sometimes, because sometimes we find that after maybe first week or second week of internship, they have some conflicts. We try to resolve the conflicts in between. Maybe sometimes we need to change the intern organization. So we really cost a lot of manpower. But after years of practices, we thought that we are more mature to do these kinds of match up. So, and also as I mentioned, that we have another good partner in Hong Kong, which is called Fuller's Social Enterprise Society, because they know the social enterprises very well, so that they can know that what kind of students they would like to be engaged. So that right now the matchmaking process is much more better than the first year. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, colleagues, thank you. Thanks, Tony. We're going to move on now. We've got two little bits of this session, and we'll probably wrap up a little ahead of time as well, I'm sure. We are going to move to a virtual, it's just a video, so there will be no opportunity to ask Richard Cordray any questions, but Richard has provided us with a video, and he's the Chief Operating Officer of the FSA, so the Federal Student Aid, and that's in the United States. After that video finishes, then we'll flash up a QR code on the screen for some feedback for the presenters. Now, the presenters, and there's only two of them really live, I guess, and this is for the awards tomorrow night, so no pressure for our presenters, but we'd like very light-hearted, just some feedback about how you've enjoyed today's sessions. So if we can move to the video, please, that would be great. Thank you.
Chief Operating Officer of Federal Student Aid within the United States Department of Education. It is an honor to be invited to join the 7th Global Summit on Student Affairs and Services. Let me express my sincere regrets that I'm unable to deliver these remarks in person with you there in Korea, and instead have had to record this video. I welcome this opportunity to speak to those of you attending this valuable summit and to share ideas. The goal we all share is how to deliver educational opportunity so our students can better meet the challenges they will face in their long lives ahead. This past winter, I was fortunate to meet with and learn from leaders of the Korea Student Aid Foundation about the importance of this Global Summit meeting. They told me that many of you would be eager to hear more about our system that supports millions of Americans as they pursue higher education, ranging from college and graduate programs to shorter-term career and skills training. The warm welcome they conveyed explains why I'm enthusiastically in agreement to be one of your speakers. My understanding is the speakers have been asked to base their summit presentations on some specific topics. Two of those topics stood out to me. The first focuses on how our educational programs can help to promote inclusivity and diversity. The second focuses on how our educational programs can help to encourage innovation and technology. Both of those are key issues right now in helping to shape America's future. And there's no doubt in my mind that they are equally important as areas of concern in countries all around the globe. Let's start with inclusivity and diversity by taking a step back to examine the larger picture. Every community of human beings is necessarily unique simply because people are different from one another in ways both large and small. Some communities are fragmented into identifiable groups with distinct and varied characteristics. Others are more uniform and homogeneous, marked more by their recurring similarities than by their differences. The breakdown of a community into separate segments marked by physical, social, cultural, or other differences is at the core of any diverse community. But those differences do not necessarily produce inclusion. In fact, often they have quite the opposite effect, causing division and friction within the community. And the same, of course, is true of nation states, some of which have an extremely close sense of identity among their populations, and others which do not. The United States is more of an outlier in this regard than most other countries. Our nation has long been known as a melting pot, which reflects the waves of immigrants that extended across the North American continent over the past 4 centuries, and to some extent assimilated over that period. Another way that our demographics have been described is by comparing them to a salad bowl, which perhaps more accurately describes the large chunks of people from around the world who have come, often in close-knit groups, to make a fresh start here in America amid other groups from different backgrounds, leading to partial but not complete assimilation with one another. Notably, however, one of the principal factors that has both attracted this diversity and fostered inclusion among these different groups of people is our system of primary, secondary, and higher education. What we call higher education in particular which actually refers to any kind of post-secondary education, can take a wide variety of forms, ranging from skills-based programs lasting just a few months to graduate coursework or professional school training that can span many years on top of a standard four-year college degree. What renders these programs diverse and inclusive in the United States is that they are, in contrast to the systems in place in many other nations, broadly accessible to large numbers of students, including virtually anyone who is willing to work hard and put in the effort to finance and obtain a college credential. A century ago, this was not at all true. In that era, most post-secondary educational programs, aside from apprenticeships in the workplace, were quite exclusive, open to much smaller numbers of students, and reserved primarily to those whose families had enough wealth to bear the cost and finance the leisure time spent away from any form of gainful employment. What has changed the equation in the United States, gradually and then increasingly over the past half century, is the wide availability of vast amounts of federal student aid that is made available to students and their families to pursue some form of higher education, even those who are without much in the way of financial means of their own. The philosophy of generous federal student aid was aptly stated by President Lyndon Johnson, himself a former teacher and a devoted champion of the deep benefits of higher education that he had seen bear fruit in his own life as he rose to prominence and success from humble beginnings. On November 8, 1965, he celebrated the passage of the Higher Education Act with a signing ceremony at his own alma mater, Southwest Texas State College, located in the small town of San Marcos, Texas. Proclaiming that education is the key to the future, not just for individuals, but for our nation, President Johnson signed the law that brought into being new financial support for schools and new financial support for students, while also establishing a national teacher corps. This fundamental law, with its broad funding for grants, loans, scholarships, and part-time jobs for students, has been a resounding success and has now been reauthorized 9 times in the subsequent 60 years. In his speech approving the bill passed by Congress, President Johnson expressly noted that the act will swing open a new door for the young people of America. For them and for this entire land of ours, it is the most important door that will ever open, the door to education. Because of this strong support for students and families, this act, he said, means the path of knowledge is open to all that have the determination to walk it. As Johnson saw the essence of his program, it means that a young person anywhere in this great land of ours can apply to any college or any university in any of the 50 states and not be turned away because his family is poor. On a larger plane, he spoke of the urgent need to banish ignorance and of his firm conviction that for the individual, education is the path to achievement and fulfillment. For the nation, it is a path to a society that is not only free, but civilized. And for the world, it is the path to peace, for it is education that places reason over force. And finally, President Johnson concluded his speech with words designed to echo down the corridors for future generations. So, he said, when we leave here this morning, I want you to go back and say to your children and to your grandchildren and to those who come after you and follow you, tell them that we have made a promise to them. Tell them that the truth is here for them to seek. And tell them that we have opened the road and we have pulled the gates down and the way is open and we expect them to travel it. That direction of education policy has dramatically increased diversity and inclusion throughout American society. Numbers alone are bare and stark, yet they tell the tale. This past academic year, federal student aid provided about $114 billion in federal grants, loans, and work-study funds to more than 9.7 million students at some 5,400 participating post-secondary schools to provide access to higher education. The cumulative total of money that the United States has lent to students over the years to pursue higher education has mounted well into the trillions of dollars, and even just the current portfolio of outstanding federal student loan debt is valued now at more than $1.6 trillion. There is always more work to do, but we know that the latest expansion of federal Pell Grant eligibility means that nearly 1.5 million more students will now qualify to receive the maximum Pell Grant of nearly $7,400 per year toward the cost of their higher education programs. That is a staggering investment. And yet it is the most important investment we could make to build our future by unlocking and fulfilling the latent potential in our people, who are by far our most important and our most productive asset. Without federal student aid to level the playing field for so many families, we would squander much of that potential and never even be aware of how much we had lost. One of our avenues to foster diversity and inclusion is our longstanding financial support directed to historically Black colleges and universities and other minority-serving institutions. And especially for those who are disfavored, those who may often be left out, those who do not naturally and obviously fit with the dominant majority in the community, we know their potential would be most easily submerged, cast away, and forgotten without the conscious focus and support of federal student aid. As the poet Thomas Gray wrote in his famous elegy, "Full many a gem of purest ray serene, the dark unfathomed caves of ocean bear. Full many a flower is born to blush unseen and waste its sweetness on the desert air." Generous funding for higher education is the great equalizer that opens the path to the future for those willing to work, willing to strive, and willing to make something of themselves. It can be tailored to each individual as it is applied flexibly to fund career and skill programs, to pay for community college, to enable the pursuit of a college degree, or to finance graduate and professional studies. These students not only borrow and spend money to secure an education, but they also spend their precious time over many years to obtain that education, investing in themselves rather than working for a wage. And in turn, the cumulative mass of talent and capability that results is a powerful force that propels our country forward in the world. It is unquestionably a most worthy expenditure. But sometimes the right kind of expenditure also pays off in other ways. Our generous support for higher education has also turned many campuses into hubs of economic activity centered on scientific research and technological innovation. The presence of a top-flight research capacity attracts not only students, but also faculty and fellows who are engaged in related pursuits. And all these resources are magnets for many businesses as well, which hungrily pursue access to an attractive pool of educated talent. These coveted cohorts of workers change the nature of the surrounding urban areas where they're usually located, such that our colleges and universities have themselves become economic drivers of prosperity, especially in the fast-growing field of medicine. From another very different perspective on how higher education produces innovation, our land-grant universities have also contributed much to changes in how we feed our people by making agriculture more sustainable and productive. Breakthroughs in such wide-ranging areas as fertilization, water management, crossbreeding, genetic engineering, crop rotation, cultivation and harvesting techniques, and futures pricing have largely revolutionized life in farming communities. Here, as elsewhere, the vast bulk of innovation in our economy now is the result not of brute force and manual labor, but of subtle thinking and analysis about how to optimize mechanisms and processes. The essential means to these ends is education, and the aggregate fruits of the scientific method typically emanate from communities of experimental researchers that are invariably centered in and around our colleges and universities. Technology and innovation are also at the core of any human activity that is undertaken on a mass scale. Any breakthroughs in the production process that can lower costs or boost output are magnified enormously when they can be replicated in large volumes. But these are nearly all the products of brainpower. These forces, which the economist Joseph Schumpeter described as the gales of creative destruction, reflect the ways that innovation breaks down and occasionally wipes out entire industries to make way for superior approaches that deliver broad value for consumers. Thus, the telegraph gave way to the telephone, the horse and buggy gave way to the automobile, and the punch card gave way to the computer chip. The concentrated study of how to refine and improve industrial processes has also eventually spawned new fields of educational endeavor as well, in areas ranging from information technology to entrepreneurship and business management. Likewise, in the work that our team does here at Federal Student Aid, technological innovation has become increasingly integral to the high-volume methods we use to administer and deliver federal student aid to millions of students and families. Not only do we have to receive detailed information from the students in order to assess and qualify them for financial assistance, but we need to communicate huge amounts of information to schools in order to deliver the aid. And we have to generate mass communications to millions of students and tens of millions of borrowers who take part in the federal student aid programs. In addition, here at FSA, we hold an annual training conference that is attended virtually by many thousands of financial aid administrators and professionals just to keep up with the latest changes to the federal student aid program. The digital footprint of my agency, as with all other government agencies, was also expanded during the COVID pandemic, confirming the rapid trend away from more manual processes that are no longer capable of effectively serving our vast customer base. Just this year, in fact, the U.S. Department of Education, through our agency, Federal Student Aid, has been extremely busy delivering the overhaul of 3 different systems. Our Partner Connect 2.0 system that addresses the information technology needs of schools, our USDS reboot that addresses our new and improved approach to servicing all those student loans while seeking to reduce delinquencies and defaults, and the FAFSA process of applying for and receiving federal student aid for students who are currently enrolled. Altogether, those changes make for a heavy load, and we've been hard-pressed to keep up, as so many transformational projects have been moving forward simultaneously. But as we continue to make progress toward completing them, we know these improvements will pay off readily enough in the form of more students being better served as we help them pursue and attain what we call the American dream of building a strong educational foundation to empower their futures and our own. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, everyone, and thanks obviously to our speaker remotely as well. So that concludes our session this afternoon. Thanks again for coming along, and thank you so much to our speakers here in the room. It's been a pleasure. Now, we'll just turn to this QR code, so if you just point your camera at it, then you'll be able to fill in and rate our 2 speakers for the awards tomorrow. So thank you very much. I think that concludes the day as well. So I do hope you have a nice evening, and we start again tomorrow with our keynote speaker. And tomorrow evening, of course, we have the dinner. So I do hope you have a nice and very pleasant evening. Thank you.